Okay. So now we move through to the Ōtautahi Community Housing Trust lease renewal. And Bruce, could you please introduce this for us?
Good morning, everyone. So this relates to the lease with the Ōtautahi Community Housing Trust. The lease is up for renewal this year. It's the first of the first 5-year term. The decision to renew is a delegated one, and generally with the terms of the lease is something that council would just approve because of the specific terms. However, in this case, Ōtautahi Community Housing Trust has requested some changes, and some of those changes go to some decisions that council made originally when it was setting up the arrangements and putting the lease in place. So we thought it prudent to test those matters with you. And specifically, the matters that we're looking at are the length of term and the clause that allows council to, or either party to give a no cause reason to terminate the lease. So they were originally, those two terms was originally set up because council wished to retain flexibility to respond to changing circumstances and opportunity. What we're proposing is because the performance of the trust has been very good so far, they have achieved what we set out in terms of improving the financial sustainability of the portfolio. They are driving the development of new social housing, that we think that there's a case for some additional term, which we have put in, which is an extra 10 years. And in terms of the arrangements and being flexible, we're suggesting we extend that out from 48 months to 5 years. So I'm in your hands now. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
That's great. Thanks so much, Bruce. Do we have questions from people? Sam.
Yeah, just one. Thanks, Sarah. Bruce, I'm just trying to understand what greater certainty they get. I mean, because they're still quite restricted in terms of their borrowing anyway, aren't they?
They are. There is some of the new borrowing that they're starting to look at that this will give them a little more certainty over the term of those mortgages. So we're currently putting in place mortgages over our property, but that will release a little bit of their assets that they can then borrow against, and then they also get a good revenue stream from from the government, so they can do that borrowing. That will be over a longer term than in the rest of the lease, so it just provides a little bit of certainty that the whole lease will be in place while they're doing that borrowing.
Okay, thanks, that makes sense. Sarah, if you need, I'm happy to move it, but if someone else wants
That'd be great. Thanks, Sam. Do we have a seconder?
I'm happy
Tim?
to second.
Tim's thumb was up before your voice, sorry. Do we have any further questions for Bruce? No, in that case we have it moved and seconded. Do we have any debate? No, in that case I will put the motion. I can see everyone on the screen, most people on the screen there. So all in favour, please raise your thumbs.
Aye.
Excellent, and it's a yes from Aaron, and Anne is a yes as well. Anyone against? Any abstentions? Declare that carried. Thank you very much, and thank you, Bruce. Next we move through